Today I'm going to show you how Microsoft Copilot in Teams isn't just another AI tool. It's a strategic asset that can transform how your clients work. As MSPs, you're uniquely positioned to help businesses achieve what Microsoft calls the 11 by 11 tipping point, the point where AI adoption quickly snowballs to additional time savings and ROI. So today I'm going to highlight two things: the out-of-the-box features in the Teams Copilot, as well as some ways you can more deeply integrate it into your work processes. Let's start with a tour of Copilot in Teams, because there's a couple of things that I'd like to highlight. You can access the Copilots in Teams from either the application, or if you go to the website and you're just accessing it through the pure web app here. You have access to the business chat within Teams. This is that primary Copilot where you can interact with people from your organization, files, as well as add agents and powerful applications. So if you're somebody who does all of your work in Teams, Copilot is going to support that by enabling you to interact with everything from Excel files to email threads just directly from the Teams windows that you already live in. This business chat, though, isn't the only Copilot you have in Teams. It's important to remember that Copilot for Microsoft 365 is several different applications, not just one. So within your individual chats, you're also going to have access to a Copilot. This is just going to be your private Copilot that you can ask questions to. So you can see here, I've used this to get both a summary of this existing Teams thread, and I can also use Copilot to produce documentation, based on these conversations. So I had this conversation with Megan, and she wants an FAQ to send on to her teammates. So she's able to just get that from asking a question for a quick prompt here. So we've got that FAQ style report. You don't just have access to Copilot in Teams chats in the business chat, though. You also have access to it in Teams meetings, both while they're ongoing and then also as a follow-up. So when you're inside a Teams meeting, you have a Copilot, much like you do inside each of those Teams chats. It's really helpful for me if I'm a couple minutes late to an internal meeting or training. I can just ask what I missed in the 5-10 minutes that I wasn't there, and it's able to give me a pretty good recap. Then after all of your Teams meetings, you're going to get this canned recap right here on the recap screen within Teams. So one thing that's cool here is that this recap only requires a transcript to be generated. You don't need to actually fully record the meeting. I do find that if you have multiple people in the meeting, like 5 or 6, a video recording is going to be more accurate in terms of tagging, who is speaking at what time. However, you don't really need to keep those videos long term from a data storage perspective. You can rely on the transcripts as a way to get information. So you both get this canned recap, which is very valuable out of the box, but you can also, again, ask questions of the meetings and produce outputs that are more customized for what you're working on doing. So for us at Pax8, we use prompts to extract information from call transcripts that's directly aligned to our Salesforce fields and has the information that we want. So that's an example of how we integrate AI into our business process, is that for me, instead of after a call going and looking through the notes and trying to figure out what I want to say, the AI does it for me and I can just double check that. I really believe Teams and also Outlook are the best applications for you to get to that 11 by 11 tipping point, which Microsoft describes as where you're saving 11 minutes a day with your AI tools. That's when employees are really starting to notice the benefits from it. And from there, you get to move on to the higher levels of ROI, saving 30 minutes a day to 3xing your productivity with custom business processes. So Teams is a great place to start. It's got really powerful out-of-the-box features, the ability to get more insights from your meetings, and it's also got the ability to integrate with your business processes as well. Really, the power of Copilot 365 comes from its semantic index, its ability to interact with a lot of the information in your tenant and really know how your business is operating. Sure, you could buy a third-party tool that gives you quick meeting recaps, but with Copilot, you're able to use that business chat, and it's actually going to understand, the acronyms, the roles, and the processes at your company. It delivers a lot more of a natural language experience than a low-code one, which is where I think a lot of the AI really is headed. And this is going to be a lot easier to use at the end of the day, as well as more secure for your customers. So I really encourage you to start with Teams, but definitely if you're using Copilot, make sure to let your customers know that this is an AI implementation. It's a journey. It's not just going to be about turning on an application. They're going to have to be concerned about data labeling, security, and really changing the way they think about the information in their tenant in order to make the most out of their AI investments.